Hey, did it actually go? Ah, did it. I did that the other day. Okay, I'm live. So I want to go through the different parts here really quickly, and every time I draw neurons, it reminds you of Wander Over Yonder. Doesn't it remind you of Wander Over Yonder? That was my ringtone for a long time on my phone. Wander over, no. Yeah, classic. Okay. He's a very positive guy. He gets angry one episode. Everybody gets shocked. Even the villain goes, "Why are you so down, man?" Okay. This is the one. The first one is the one we've been drawing a lot. This one. What are these little frilly bits at the end? Louder. Dendrites. What is their job? They're collecting, right now, they're collecting ions. They're collecting ions. They're collecting sodium. They're collecting potassium. Where are they putting them? Come on. Soma. The soma, the cell body. The ions collect here. What happens at the axon hillock? What's the key word to remember for axon hillock? Oh, come on. Something special happens there. 2 days ago. Magic? There you go. There's some vocabulary. All of a sudden, the axon hillock has a bunch of sodium channels on it. Sodium channels. Sodium channels are activated, well, these are activated by voltage. If I get a bunch of positives coming in here, what happens to my voltage? If a bunch of sodium is coming in, what happens to the voltage across the membrane? Higher and lower is weird because it comes less negative, which is higher, but the key word is depolarizes. I can't spell polarizer. Hold on. If positively charged ion, sodium, leaks in, the cell starts to depolarize. When it's depolarizing, it's becoming less negative. If it reaches, say the word again, threshold, if it reaches threshold, we send an action potential. So I'm going to tell you this now, because we're going to talk about this today. If a neuron can a neuron have a very positively charged soma? Can a neuron have a very positively charged soma? Yes. There's a type of hippocampus cell we'll talk about later in the semester that when you remember something, it changes the natural state of that soma. So that soma becomes positively charged. And when that soma becomes positively charged, anything that goes by it activates an action potential. Anything. It's like having a sunburn. If you have a sunburn, what happens to your skin? Good morning. It becomes red, but it's also very sensitive. It's really fun when someone has a sunburn. You poke, ow, yeah. If the voltage at the axon hillock reaches threshold, we send an action potential. If the voltage at the axon hillock reaches threshold, we send an action potential. So if a neuron is extremely positive, what do you think its action potential rate is? Think about this. If I have a lot of positives in my soma, what's going to happen at the axon hillock? What happens? So we've only talked about one action potential so far. It's definitely going to travel down the axon. Okay, so let's see. I don't want to use this, I don't want you to follow it. Can I use this for a second? Okay, come up here, please. No offense, Michael. Okay, so you're going to walk back down here, right? Okay, so you try to walk that way. Okay. Okay, wow, ready? Okay, what happened as soon as I let go of her? She didn't just walk forward at a normal speed. Okay? No one's following doing that. But as soon as I release that pressure, what happens? The frequency of the speed increases dramatically until she's free of the swing, and then she moves forward a little bit. Okay? There's a piston on the back of your jacket, too. That's awesome. Okay. Okay. So so think about the soma. If the soma if it has a very high frequency of action potential, and I happen to be stopping something, what happens if I change it just a little bit? It's going to accelerate, not itself, but the next cell. So what I get to see is that this particular cell right here can have what we call a very high frequency. Has a very high frequency. Frequency means numbers of action potentials. So what happens if I slow down my frequency? What happens to the number of action potentials? There's a longer gap between the first and second action potential. If my neuron is extremely positive, my frequency is high. How could I make the frequency low? What would I have to do? Straight line. Encouraging speaking class. Wrong! If I wanted to slow down the frequency of this action potential, what should I do? Yeah. Yeah. English teachers hate this. I'm going to add negatives. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I'm going to add 8 negative ions in there. Now what's going to happen to my axon hillock? It's going to slow down. What's causing the axon hillock to fire? This positive charge. But now I've added a bunch of negatives. And so the cell is going to fire less. Okay, so we start talking about this firing rate of neurons. We'll get to the other kind of neurons here in just a second. Don't say depolarized. When it's depolarizing, when I'm adding, polarization occurs when there's an imbalance of charge, right? So why is there an imbalance of charge at the axon hillock? What's there causing this resting potential, causing this imbalance of charge? ATP. Pumps. We're constantly pumping sodium out at the axon hillock. What about the soma? Does the soma have any pumps? Nope. so sodium flows in to the soma, but the only way for it to get out is to be pumped out at the axon hillock. That's actually a lie if you take neurobiology, but it'll work for now. So if the sodium has to flow down the axon, it's going to collect at the axon hillock. And it's going to collect there until an action potential occurs. When an action potential occurs, where does the sodium go? Down toward the end. So all neurons have what's called a spontaneous firing rate. Every single neuron has its own native frequency. So if I scoop out a neuron and put it in a petri dish with the proper liquid around it, what will it do? Oh, come on. What will it do? Send back to potential. Fire. 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 My grandmother, when she passed away, she was 93, and she was sitting there on the couch, and my wife and our daughter was 1 year old, was sitting there, and Grandma was having an egg sandwich. She likes egg sandwiches, and so she was eating her egg sandwich, and probably the amino acids from the egg she couldn't digest or process, and so it caused her to go into respiratory arrest. Probably the proteins in there, she just couldn't, her body just said, last egg sandwich, thank you. And she just went, and died. Okay? And so my wife did CPR for a little bit, but then the paramedics said she had a do not resuscitate order, so when the paramedics got there, they brought her to the hospital. Her heart kept beating for another 3 hours. Why did her heart keep beating for 3 hours? The heart has a bunch of cells that about once every second go, fire! Fire! Do you have to worry about it? No, you take the heart out and it keeps going. Yeah, it'll keep going for a little while. Okay, and then it's just, if anybody's ever done a frog dissection in physiology, you take the heart out, as long as you keep the fluid on it, the Ringer solution on it, what does it keep doing? Keep beating. You get your poor frog leg to start kicking. You just got to keep it bathed in solution so it has proper nutrients. And does it care? What does a chicken do even if you cut its head off? It runs around. That's a spinal reflex. The neurons don't care. They have a spontaneous firing rate. Once they're triggered, they go. What makes the chicken stop running around without a head? It doesn't have the blood. Because it's poor scene. Everybody's ever had to butcher chickens. It's really hard to eat meat after you butcher a chicken. Yeah. Anyway, especially when grandma's just cold and callous. She's like, give me that chicken. I'm not going to even just, Yeah, life's not pleasant on the farm. Okay. Doesn't hurt the carrot, though. Okay. So every neuron has a spontaneous firing rate. This spontaneous firing rate causes cells to fire constantly. What if a cell stops firing? What if we block its spontaneous firing rate for too long? It dies. Without the ATP, the mitochondria stop producing ATP, and then the cell stops producing pumps, and the pumps cause the cell to not function. So the cell needs to fire in order to maintain the mitochondria, in order to maintain the ATP, so it keeps firing. This is a problem with early childhood alcohol exposure. Like babies, if the mom's pregnant and drinks alcohol, the cells stop firing. And because the cells don't have a lot of ATP, what can happen to the baby brain? They don't die, they just don't grow neurons as fast. So the neurons that are growing and proliferating, but if they're not sending signals quickly, they grow slower. They grow slower. And if the neurons grow slower, the brain doesn't connect as much. And if the brain doesn't connect as much, the children are born with cognitive deficits. Okay. So, but we can also, I'm doing strange things. I bet Windows wants to update. We can also develop something called an excitatory postsynaptic response. Every cell has a spontaneous firing rate. If I put a chemical on it that causes an excitatory response, what happens to the frequency? Oh, I didn't mean that. What happens to the frequency of action potentials if I put on an excitatory postsynaptic response? Gets faster. The firing rate increases. I don't like using the word higher because action potentials always are the same strength. See how that's a different, yeah. Action potentials always produce the same strength, but every neuron has a spontaneous firing rate. I can change that firing rate by adding an excitatory postsynaptic response. Can I slow that firing rate down too? Yeah, it's called geez, I'm having trouble today. By putting on an inhibitory postsynaptic response. If I put in, this is super basic, but what most people don't picture or don't think about that every cell is firing all the time. Every cell is constantly firing all the time. What is actually causing us to move and behave is modulation of those firing rates. Think about it, the car is always running. What determines on what happens to it? The amount of gas that you give the engine. The more gas you give it, the faster it revs, the faster it goes. And if you want to make it go slower, oh, not the brakes. I ride a fixed gear bicycle. It's really fun. Yeah, well, so the fixed gear bicycle is great. You just pedal hard and you go fast. If you want to slow down, you pedal slower. Oh. Okay, and it's actually really fun to ride unless you need to stop very quickly. Because it doesn't stop very fast. It accelerates very nicely because your legs do really well for pushing you forward. They're not very well designed for stopping you. Anyway, so but this is your brain cells work exactly the same way. And in order to determine the effect of the excitatory or inhibitory synaptic potentials, we have to look at the relationship between neurons, between at least two neurons. And it gets more complicated because each cell is connected to up to 10,000 others. So just keep this simple. Good. No idea what's going on. That's okay. So I want you to think about the way that this is not the actual instant change of a single neuron, but it's a summation of stimuli. It's a summation of stimuli. Each little tiny stimuli that is excitatory and inhibitory is added together. Where does it sum up? What does the word summation mean? It's total of. Summation means to put together. So where in the cell is the summation? Not in the axon hillock. The soma. The summation of stimuli occurs in the soma. So I want to show you this other neuron here. Summation of stimuli occurs in the soma. This is called, I'm just going to scroll up a little bit, this is called a bipolar neuron. The soma is right here. But what do you kind of notice about the bipolar neuron compared to our normal neuron we've been talking about? The soma's in the middle. Well, the soma is, the dendrites all feed down into a single process before they hit the soma, and then as soon as they hit the soma, they turn into a single axon. So in this particular neuron, your standard NIH neuron, it's your generic neuron, okay? This neuron is receiving lots of bits of different information from lots of different sources. A bipolar neuron is receiving information from one source. It has one output. So what happens if I send an excitatory response here? What happens here? What does it do? It goes faster. If I put an inhibitory response on a bipolar neuron, it goes slower. How come there's no thinking involved? There's no processing, there's no summation. It's only got one process in and out. You see a lot of bipolar neurons connecting other neurons. So the bipolar neurons connect, like in your eyeballs, we'll talk a lot about those. The bipolar neurons connect the photoreceptors to the nerve cells that send the signals to the brain. They have a really important reason, but they don't do any sort of thinking. They just react. Good thing. Okay. These are even easier to understand. They're called unipolar neurons. You think the soma does any sort of summation whatsoever? No. It's actually just there to provide DNA. It's like the rich dad that's there in your life just to provide college funding. Good times. A friend of ours has that situation where the dad has been completely absent, and then the kid was getting ready to go to college, and the dad sent just a very simple text with the kid's bank account number. So the dad's been saving money for the kid to go to college all these years, even though the dad's been completely missing. And the kid has a bank account with a bunch of money for college. The dad's like, yep, dad's duties check. Helping raise the kid, be around it, no, just here's some money. The kid's like, accept it. Okay. I want an absentee dad. Okay. I could be an absentee dad. No, okay. So in this particular case, the axon hillock is right here. These are sensory nerves. I'm drawing a thumbtack. If you step on a thumbtack, you won't have to wait for it to fill up a soma before you react to it. No. And in fact, all of these cell bodies are what we call ganglion cells. And these are just nerves. Like I've got a nerve in my foot that's a little weirded out because I have bad heel spur on my right foot. And the whole part of my heel was numb for a long time. Completely numb. You don't really notice if your heels are numb because, But the nerve itself was being, the swelling of my tendon was causing the nerve to be couldn't feel my nerve. So the doctor gave me a shot in the nerve, I swear. He's like, how about here? Do you feel that? No. Here. Oh! There, good. It hurt so bad. But as soon as he did that, now I can feel my heel again because the swelling around that nerve went down. So all that was happening is the swelling was pinching off a part of the nerve. So what happened to the sensory information going from the dendrite down to the axon? Gone. Does anybody ever have a pinched nerve in their neck? They're really fun. You like sneeze and all of a sudden you're like, ow! And then you're fine, and ow! Anybody know how to fix that? Too easy. No, stretching it doesn't work. Massaging it doesn't work. You'd think it would. Loosen up. It doesn't. Ice. It sounds like the most awful possible thing you could do to it, but you ice it. Because when you ice it, it reduces the swelling in the area and frees up the nerve. The nerve is, if you're pinching the nerve, it causes the muscles to contract. And when the muscles contract, when you try to move, it pinches the nerve more because the muscles are holding the joint so it can't move. Who thought that up? Stupid evolution. Okay, now, here's my wander over not yonder neuron. You can't see it, can you? Okay. They're called pyramidal cells. They have a gazillion dendrites that stick out in lots of different directions. They have a very large soma that is actually shaped like a pyramid. And then they have one axon. So do you think pyramidal cells do a lot of summation? They collect a lot of information from a lot of sources in order to change the output. Lots of resources, lots of information. Pyramidal cells are also a part of the motor tract. What does motor mean? Yeah. Muscles. So your motor tract are your muscles. So why do I need to care if my foot hurts or not? What does that change? How you walk. And it changes a whole host, just one little tiny sensory thing. You get one little tiny freaking rock in your shoe. And what happens? You're like, I can't walk. Why? Ow, ow, ow. And you little tiny rock. How did we ever survive as a species? Anybody ever splinter in their finger? Yeah, it debilitates your whole day. Ow. Okay, sorry, maybe I should toughen up. Okay. So again, I want you to think of this as far as summation goes. I'm going to go back over here now. Okay? Why don't we care about a single action potential much? They're fascinating. It's amazing. But why don't we care that much about it? It doesn't do much. A single action potential really doesn't do much except move sodiums back and forth. And the whole thing that we did at the end of class last time, anybody remember why I drew the last couple beige action potentials a little bit less intense? What was that we were talking about? ALS. What should happen every node along the way? It doesn't collect more sodium. Every node along the way is going to create an action potential, sends it off with the same boost to the next node. Every node lets sodium in, sodium rushes down the axon. Let me draw this up here. The axon hillock lets a bunch of sodium in. The sodium flows down the axon because of concentration gradient. Sound familiar? The concentration gradient and the electrostatic pressure, because it's very positive up at the soma. If the action potential occurs, it's positive in the soma. Because it's positive in the soma, the electric charge is pushed down the axon. Sodiums are pushed down the axon. When the sodium reaches the first node, it has an action potential. Why does the sodium always flow away from the soma? Concentration and voltage, electrostatic gradient. It's positively charged in front, and it slowly goes down. And then this one fires, and it goes this way. Then this one fires, and it goes this way. It technically goes about 1 meter per second. I know what I'm doing. My fat fingers are hitting little buttons on the side of this. That's why it's doing it. Okay. It travels about 1 meter per second. However, when I myelinate it, If I add the fat, it's 100 meters per second. Are baby brains myelinated? Yes, but terribly. Baby brains have very little coordination and very low speed to things. You have a baby and you're putting on like a diaper or something and you accidentally pinch them. Ooh, car seat pinch. Summertime, tank top, a little bit of baby belly fat hanging out. You get the buckle in it. You pinch the kid goes, 1,000, 2,000. Ow! How come it takes 2 seconds before the kid starts to cry? Not delayed reaction, it just takes that long for the sensory information to come up. Watch how a 2-year-old walks. How can the balance be terrible? In order for you to have balance, what do you need? Don't make me make you balance, because I can't. But in order to balance, what do you need? I can do my keyboard. Hold on, I can get my Zen. Okay. I don't have it. There we go. I got it. Okay. So in order for you to balance, what do you need? No, why is my leg constantly moving? Sensory input. So if I close my eyes. Come on, Zen. I got this. I got this. Ah! Okay. Why is it so hard when you close your eyes? The visual system information is coming down one of those pyramidal cells and allowing to adjust my left and right. I am relatively strong, so I can balance well because of my strength, not because of my balance. We're trying to have my son do push-ups on the exercise ball. You put your feet on the big bouncy ball. This is the most irritating thing to have in the house if you have a 13-year-old, because what's he doing all the time? And saying boingy, boingy, boingy on the thing in the living room. Yes, and I'm doing it too, but that's not important. I'm still 13. But, so he's like trying to do a push-up with his feet on the ball. How come he can't do it? He's not strong enough to hold his core straight in order to do it. He goes, you do it. I'm like, I can do those all day. And I'm like, so he's like trying to push the ball while I'm doing it, and I'm strong enough to hold the ball for him pushing it while still doing the push-up. But I spend a lot of my life doing stupid things like that. Fun. Okay, but what's weird about if you are myelinated, everything goes much faster. What's really hard for a 5-year-old to do, a 6-year-old can do without any effort. And as the kid gets slowly older, right now it's actually really funny to watch. All of the boys are kind of hitting puberty on his basketball team. So what's happening with how fast they can run and how high they can jump? They're getting stronger. And it's really fun to watch. And then they have little bursts of anger. It's really quickly. You just tell my son to stop talking because it's really frustrating. Okay. Just stop talking now. Why? Okay. My voice is still changing, so it's nice. So, what's the whole point of all this nonsense? It's overwhelming to think of 1 millisecond of one cell's behavior out of all those 86 billion. So this is actually what we want to talk about this for most of the rest of the class today. What is this? I feel angry after this. Wow. No. These are transmitters. Well, transmitters are molecules that have power. They don't have power like ATP, but transmitters are basically charged molecules. I was going to try to draw one, but I can't. So, your brain produces most of these transmitters. There are some transmitters that are also found endogenously in our environment. Why do you think most medicines that we use come from plants? Do plants use transmitters? Yeah. There's a Mexican yam, is that what it's called? There's a type of sweet potato that has a very strong chemical in it that's very similar to progesterone. That's this yam that grows. It has the same effect as taking a very high dose of a very strong birth control. And in rural cultures, they would use this as a birth control method. So after engaging in unplanned sexual activity, you just eat a bunch of the Mexican yam, and what would happen? You'd start your period. Like right that next day. Is it good for you or bad for you? Very bad for you. It's like taking the morning after pill. But what's interesting about this chemical in this Mexican yam looks just like progesterone in your body. Why do you think the yam produces the same chemical? Leslie. Why are there, in marijuana, are there plants that look like endogenous cannabinoids in your brain? Yeah, we have cannabinoid receptors in our brain, and this plant happens to make the same chemical. We have similar DNA. Our DNA is the chemical. There's only so much biological chemistry that exists, and in most of the chemistry that our body uses is the same chemistry that the plants use. There's a poison arrow frog that people lick and get stoned with. Good luck with that. Okay, moving on. Similar DNA. There's not that much unique DNA in a human. We're very similar to most of the other organisms on the planet. It kind of takes a little of the spice out of life, but whatever. Okay, so transmitters basically come in a couple different types. Okay, transmitters come in basically a couple different types. We call them EPSPs or IPSP. What do you think EPSP stands for? Say it louder, because you're right. Excitatory post synapse potential. So if I release a chemical on your body that is excitatory, what's going to happen to the cell's frequency? It's going to cause the cell to fire faster. If I add something onto the cell that is inhibitory, it's going to cause the cell to fire slower. So EPSPs and IPSPs, we refer to them as EPSPs and IPSPs. So we'll talk about one called glutamate, EPSP, GABA, IPSP. So as I keep using these words, you'll start to get, oh, that speeds up, that slows down. Glycine, mild IPSP. Okay, so as we go through, and then there's another one, there's two other ways of talking about it. Or just more words. Ionotropic. What does ionotropic mean? What's the key word here? Ion. Hello. Yes. Hi, how are you? Did you find this okay, I think? Did you go for a nice walk before you found us? Yeah. Okay. No? Maybe it look like it? No. Yeah, right. Okay, so ionotropic does what? Opens ion channels. Okay, so what does metabotropic do? Ooh, no, it doesn't close. Okay. It changes the cell. Okay, so I want you to think about this. Ionotropics open ion channels. Metabotropics change the cell. Which one do you think have immediate reaction on the neuron? Ionotropic. These are fast. And I'm going to write now, because I probably won't spell immediate right if I try to spell it. So changes to cell are slow and long-lasting. Some neurotransmitters like serotonin and norepinephrine and dopamine and enkephalons, and actually most of them, are metabotropic. Metabotropic means they change the way the cell works. This actually becomes more of a pain to try to understand. Ionotropic makes sense, right, for summation? It makes sense. If I let in sodium, ionotropic, which is glutamate, lets in sodium, what happens to the cell? Changes right then. Excitatory postsynaptic potential, EPSP. There's another drug called GABA, a drug transmitter called GABA that lets in chlorine. If GABA lets in chlorine, what's the immediate effect on the cell? Decreasing the firing rate. Chlorine is negative, automatically slows down. There's a chemical called MDMA, okay? And MDMA is a chemical called ecstasy. Ecstasy activates 3 different transmitters in your brain: dopamine, norepinephrine, and serotonin. The activation of those 3 cause slightly hallucinogenic effects, slightly amphetamine effects. And you can pay attention better. The combination of those 3 give people a very positive reaction to said drug. And it's interesting because all 3 of those are metabotropic. I've been getting so many spam crap text messages like this last week. Somebody sold my phone. Anyway, okay. So, why do you think things like, I don't know, amphetamine, cocaine, and ecstasy are addictive? They're all long-lasting effects. Not necessarily the psychotropic effects are long-lasting, but because the transmitters are involved with metabotropics, you develop a tolerance and change response to those fast. Okay. So, I want to show you how this kind of works. I'm going to zoom out a little bit so I can actually draw this with a little bit more detail. And I'm sorry if you're trying to write notes and follow along because it's really a mess at this point. Yeah, sorry. I'll make sure I don't really care, so I won't fix it anyway. But anyway, you can watch it again, and I'm going to save this file that's right on my keyboard on this right now. I can save it, and you can open it in a browser. Yeah, I can save this in a browser, so you can actually. Half the people were able to open it and see it. Other half the people weren't able to open and zoom it in. So it's all depending on what browser, iOS you're using. Anyway, but eventually I can get to the point where I can share this through OneNote. OneNote is a Microsoft product where I can literally, you can download it for free with your school email, and then I can theoretically share it with you on OneNote. The problem is that our campus won't allow students to share files using OneNote because that would be useful. Okay. So I'm going to draw a synaptic membrane. Next class we'll go through and talk about how this happens. But right now I'm just going to say it happens. This term called exocytosis, again, I'm not going to explain how it happens. I'm just going to say it happens. Exocytosis is the release of a transmitter. the release of a neurotransmitter. I'm just going to draw it now, and I will explain it next class. When a cell releases a transmitter, when it goes through exocytosis, the chemical molecule, I'm just going to draw a little indolamine here. Okay, releases the chemical. The chemicals are very specifically shaped. If there is a receptor that happens to match this is terrible drawing, by the way. If there's a receptor that matches the chemical structure of the chemical release, so I could theoretically take this little guy. Nope, I'll do it this way. So this little molecule comes out, and then what can it do? Click. It fits right into the receptor. And if this chemical molecule fits into the receptor, insert 6 years of biochem here, and how it actually works. I'll move it out again. But if it fits in, if it is ionotropic, ions flow in. If it's an EPSP, sodium flows in. What if it's an IPSP? What flows in? What I write? Chlorine. Get rid of some pruning. I'll prune. Okay. So depending on the chemical and depending on the receptor, we have a different channel opening up. We use the term ligand activated channel. So what determines whether sodium or chlorine comes in? Not the ion, which chemical binds to the receptor? So what is in control of a receptor or ligand activated channel? Remember what ligand stands for? The chemical. You following this? I know it's a lot. So this is very easy ionotropic. It's easy to understand. Okay, now this part's a little bit more challenging. Yeah, I know. It just, the more you do this, actually the more challenging it gets. All right. Okay, so what's my little triangle represent? So say it louder so you can. Receptor. Okay, here's the receptor. We got that part. Very nice. It's kind of really fun to color stuff in on this. Okay. So there's my receptor. My little indolamine will bind to there. This is actually serotonin. That's what it looks like. Ooh, cool. Okay. So my serotonin binds into this receptor. And when the serotonin binds into this receptor, as opposed to opening an ion channel, it uses AMP. AMP. Have we heard of AMP yet? Yes. What am I? 3, 2, 1, what? Phosphate. So in the metabotropic receptor, you have an AMP, adenosine monophosphate. Adenosine and phosphate. When the receptor binds, funny to me, this G protein takes a P. Okay, At least I amuse myself. That's all I need. Okay? When the G protein takes a pee, it gets shy. What does phosphate give biological molecules? What easy way to remember this? P is power. Don't use the P as a weapon. Anyway, but P is power. Okay, so it's called phosphorylating, just in case you care. If I phosphorylate this G protein, this is called a second messenger. This is called a second messenger. By phosphorylating the G protein can go off and do stuff. So one of the things you can do is open channels. So if I phosphorylate this G protein and the cell needs to fire more, it'll go and open sodium channels. If the cell is firing too much and needs to fire less, it'll go and close sodium channels. What if the cell has a very high firing rate over a long period of time? What can it do? Grow some sodium channels. Why would I grow sodium channels? To deal with the cell firing a lot, I'm going to grow new sodium channels to make the cell more sensitive. So it's actually kind of fascinating. When we look at learning later in the semester, this is how it works. Sensitization, when you become sensitized to something, you grow more sodium channels. When you habituate, get used to something, guess what happens? You get rid of the sodium channels. Like, I can easily touch my eyeball. I'm not going to because it causes sickness. But, how come I can touch my eyeball? I wore contacts for years. I habituated my eye blink reflex, which sucks because when I poke myself in the eye now, I actually get eyeball, not eyelid. Yeah. Caffeine any sort of drug addiction. Caffeine withdrawals. Your body says, okay, you're used to 358 milligrams of coffee, my standard amount per day, milligrams of caffeine, sorry. So because of the coffee and tea that I drink, and decaf jasmine today, yeah. But I'll get some coffee after time. But if I drink my coffee throughout the day, and I do that every day, and I'm fine, my system runs normally, but I've already adapted my adenosine receptors to my coffee levels. Adenosine is a transmitter of the coffee effect. And by adapting my adenosine levels to my caffeine, what happens if I don't get my caffeine? I don't function as well. And if I really cut down a lot, my migraines right here on both sides. And my body has grown my receptors to wait for that chemical. If I don't get the chemical, I feel sick. It's not an addiction. Okay, it's an addiction. Okay? But I don't need it. I just want... Okay, but it's the same thing is whenever you use these mechanisms, they're called metabotropic because how long lasting are their effects? Long. It literally changes the way a cell grows. And this is actually a downside of things like methamphetamine and opiate addiction. Those are very long lasting effects. In only 3 or 4 days of taking an opiate, you can develop a tolerance and you can develop withdrawal symptoms. Does your body try to avoid pain? So your body adapts to pain very quickly. And it's funny because my foot, where my plantar fasciitis was and where my heel spur is, I'm not wearing my orthotics today, that's why I'm thinking about it, because if it hurts, even if it hurts a little bit, does it reactivate the pain pathway from when it hurt really badly last semester? That pain pathway is sensitized. My body has adapted itself to feel pain in my heel. Why is it important to not feel pain, to do things to avoid pain? So you know what the difference between hurting is and being hurt? Are they the same thing? But this is a problem with a lot of chronic pain. If you have back pain sucks. Okay, because it hurts whenever you move or stand up or lay down. So, yeah. Okay, but if you have chronic back pain and you take medicine to block it, your body remembers how to have that pain. Even though you're blocking it, the pathway of that pain becomes adjusted and tempered. That's why do you think those drugs are so addictive? Because the pain becomes unbearable because you get better and better at having it. Better as far as more efficiently having pain. And that's why it's really important. I'm a holistic person. I believe that if you work on your whole self, your pain management is much better. Because it's yourself that manages the pain, not the particular chemical. I'm terrified of the opiates. I have been ever since we've had this discussion back in the 80s when I took a class in psychopharmacology. So we're talking about psychopharm, and they're talking about all the drug interactions. Because where do most drug interactions occur? In the synapse. We're not going to go through the whole section of this in the synapse chapter about the drugs right now. We'll talk about them as we go through the semester. Just it's too much information for you at this point. But at the same time, is all the drugs that you take affect the synapse and activate. See, grow smart people have to see. It's dangerous. Please be careful. All right. It's terrifying. Okay. So, but when you make a little alarm on the screen for when I have to see. Okay, so if I were to try to zoom back out again and think about this whole thing, what's happening in this particular neuron? When I look at it from the big picture of things, what is this neuron doing? Well, the neuron is sending signals, but what is it actually doing? I want you to think of a single neuron's behavior. Oh, come on. Next week we're playing with clay, so you have to be a little bit more involved. Electrochemical messages, what we said the first day. Perfect. The electrical signals are coming in the form of action potentials from the soma is collecting the ions. What's sending the electrical signal? The axon hillock. The axon hillock is sending the electrical signal. The soma is summation. So the sum of the information coming in the soma affects the electrical signal. Every time an action potential hits the presynaptic terminal, as soon as the action potential reaches the presynaptic terminal, then something interesting happens. We have what's called, is that what it works? Exonecrosis, I don't know, okay. Exocytosis. Exocytosis is the process of releasing a transmitter. Okay, so I'm going to show you how this works right now. Okay. I'm going to draw this down here. Okay. Totally not worth it, but makes me happier. Okay. So, what's flowing in? What's flowing down this direction, down the axon? Sodium. We talked about voltage-activated calcium gates yet? No. Well, I mentioned them once, but we haven't talked about them. So as opposed to voltage-activated sodium gates, which are here in the axon, in the end bulb or presynaptic terminal or terminal bouton, these things are voltage-activated calcium gates. What do you know? What's the difference between calcium and sodium? Same size molecules within a micron of each other, but calcium has twice the electrical charge. It's like the distance runner with the 2 Red Bulls in it. So a distance runner with twice the power. Okay? So if I were to let calcium in, what's going to happen to my action potential? It's going to double. It's not going to double in height. It's going to double in time. So as opposed to having a spike, all of a sudden the calcium flows in. Sometimes I write 2 plus, sometimes I write plus plus, and sometimes it's special, I write 2 plus plus. Then I erase one of the pluses, it's stupid. Okay, so calcium rushes in, and the soma, this part of the cell, the presynaptic terminal, the charge becomes very positive and stays positive. Think of it just like the soma. Can the soma stay positive? Yeah. The soma can stay positive. If the soma is positive, the axon has a very high firing rate. You want to say 60 because that's because we got like 5 minutes left. Yeah. Okay. So if the soma is positive, what is a presynaptic terminal? Come on, you can do this. If the soma is positive, there's a high frequency coming down the active potentials, right? High frequency? So if there's a high frequency, that means there's a lot of sodium flowing down here, which means there's a lot of calcium doing what? Flowing in here. I sense a lap from this, of course. Come on. So what would happen if I slow down the frequency? What if I put some negatives in the soma? What's going to happen to the charge in my presynaptic terminal? It's going to go down. So it's really weird, but the presynaptic terminal, the end bulb, the end of the axon, mimics the soma. It mimics it. And by mimicking the soma, whatever the soma is doing, the presynaptic terminal does. Following this so far? No, the guy with the wig coming. Okay. So now, you can do this. This is not too bad. What's going to happen to all the stupid calcium that's floating around in here? Have we heard of a calcium channel yet? Watch the third step. There's really tricky. What happens with the calcium? Have we heard of calcium pumps? Only in what? Not awkward at all. Okay. He's lost. Okay, so what happens to the calcium? Where? Okay, so I'm going to write these really cool little receptors here. Okay, got these little receptors here. Calcium's going to bind to these receptors. And calcium's going to be expelled. So far, so good? So if I have sodium flows in, calcium goes in, calcium binds to these receptors, and calcium's expelled. So far, so good? Overwhelming or fine? Okay. Now, I'm going to draw one more thing. And it ran out of space. I guess I'm not going to draw that. I'll draw it over here. Have we heard about the word vesicle yet? A vesicle is a bag of transmitters. So inside my soma, I keep calling it the soma because it acts the same thing. Inside the presynaptic terminal, there's a bunch of bags of transmitters. We keep them in there because so they don't cause the cell to react within itself. It's bad to just dump the gas in the back of your car and hope some of it makes it into your engine. Why keep it in the gas tank? It's easier to smoke in your car if you don't have a back seat full of gasoline. Just saying. Make a faster road trip, I suppose. Okay, so the vesicles have this bag of transmitters in them. I'm going to draw this bigger over here. So this is the vesicle. Okay, on the vesicle is a port. Inside the vesicle is my transmitter. And without anything happening, the vesicle just sits inside the transmitter. I got 30 seconds. Here we go. So when the transmitter is in here, it's safe. Calcium binds to the port, and then calcium causes the port to, hold on, yoink, oh, missed. Oh, come on. Totally worth it. Totally know what I'm doing. Okay. So then when calcium binds, it allows this little port to lock into the membrane. So picture this as a bunch of little balloons floating around. Calcium binds into the balloon, and all of a sudden it goes to the membrane. What's expelled? Calcium, but what else is expelled? Transmitters. So one last thing. So the transmitter squeezes out. Anybody have a kid with one of those nasal aspirators? We call it the nose squeezer. It's a little rubber ball. You stick it in their nose. You squeeze it. Oh no, wait. Squeeze it, then put it in their nose. But if you do it wrong, they just go like this and look surprised. Okay? But then you suck all the crap out. Yeah. Anyway, so as this little thing releases the transmitters, guess what happens? Right afterwards. It sucks half the transmitters back in. And then floats back out. Okay, we'll start this at the end next time. Okay? So let me stop the live feed.